Good morning. I'm reading today in Nehemiah, and I'm reading chapter 3, where they're rebuilding the walls, and it's one of those. It's a fast read because it's just so and so built the wall from this point to this point, from the tower to this, from the gate to this, from the end of a house to this, from this door to that door. And I just started, I've read this hundreds of times, and I just started thinking, as I'm reading this, I'm recognizing the fact that it says in several places that the person repairing, they repaired from the end of their house to their door, or from their door to the next person's door, that the part of the wall that they are repairing is their home, their place. And it just, I understand why the wall's broken down. I mean, and times were bad, and I get all of that. I get everything that has happened prior to this point. But can I say it this way? It almost sounds selfish that they're repairing their wall. But the other side of that is, why did they ever let their wall get that way? Why did it take Nehemiah coming in and saying, we're going to repair this? If you don't take care of your house, it's going to fall apart. I've had a lot of, we got hurricanes and we've got storms and everything else that's come out here lately. And I've got to fix all that. I have to repair all that. And I'm going to repair my home. But why would I leave it sit in disarray? And why is it all of a sudden that they have the desire to get out there and do it? It just makes me think spiritually about where they were as well. They are not tending to anything at this point. And, I want my spiritual house, this temple of God. I need to make sure that I am maintaining it, that I am taking care of it, that I am, if something breaks, that I fix it. If my prayer life is broke, that I fix it. If my fasting is broke, that I fix it. If Bible reading is broke, I fix it. If church attendance is broke, that I fix it. I have got to maintain. It is something that is ongoing. Now, there are times that a storm will come and it'll get even tougher. And it may take time to repair the things that the trials and the battles that we go through, the things that are destroyed during that time. It may take time to repair those things, but if we've continued to do the maintenance that we should, then the repair shouldn't be as bad. I'm just reminded of a couple of years ago when we had that freeze. We spent weeks out here and a lot of funds wrapping pipes, closing up the well houses to make sure they were tight, putting heaters in them, putting fresh bulbs that were a high voltage wattage so that there was more heat coming out of the light bulb to keep the well house from freezing. And the only reason that we had problems was because we lost electricity for a day and a half. And when that happened, then of course everything froze up in the well houses. And I say houses because we have two. But other than that, we fared well. The house was fine. We had turned the water on every night, regardless of the fact that we had electricity. We still turned the water on in all the buildings, the barn, the office. We maintained. And so then when the freeze came and we heard about people whose houses had flooded, who had this problem and that problem, we could relate. See, God didn't spare us from the storm, but He did keep us through the storm. And life was easier because we had been maintaining the entire time. Maintain the temple of God, and spiritually the same thing happens. It's a lot easier to recover from the battle spiritually if you have maintained your prayer, if you have maintained your fasting, if you have maintained reading the Word of God, if you have stayed where you should have, if you have wrapped that armor of God around you. It is easier to repair the brokenness if you're maintaining. Love y'all.